Hi y'all, this is your boy Q for the dub, man. I'm back with another YouTube reaction, man. This one says mother kills her son, stuffed the body in a suitcase. What is wrong with people, man? Let's
So
get
he
to
said
it.
he was going to his friend's house to play video games. He left at 3:30. I don't know the exact time.
This woman is in the midst of lying to police. Just hours ago, she brutally murdered her son Gannon, hid his body in the basement, and called 911 to report him missing. Officers at the scene have no idea what they walked into, and they will quickly find themselves entangled in this killer's twisted lies.
Is there anybody down here?
No.
No.
So then when I get downstairs, he had one of the guns, and I was terrified. He asked me to give him a suitcase.
Is Gannon in a dumpster?
No.
You didn't hurt Gannon? Did you kill Gannon?
No.
But this was just the beginning of her lies.
Why
Lord have
would
mercy.
I hurt our child? I had everything in the world. I have no motive.
So tell me where he is and let me help you.
I don't know where he is. All I can tell you is I did not hurt him.
The hell, shawty, what?
In the early hours of January 27th, Letitia texts her supervisors at Widefield School District 3 stating that she cannot come to work. Allegedly, her stepfather was killed in a hit and run, and she has to tend to his passing. Nearly 6 hours later, at 9:56 a.m., Letitia sends another text to her employers. This time, she states that Gannon is sick and she needs to stay home. However, just 20 minutes later at 10:16 a.m., a neighbor's surveillance camera captures Letitia and Gannon entering their red Nissan Frontier and driving away. During this time, Letitia would visit a Petco on Nevada Avenue instead of visiting a doctor to treat her allegedly sick son. By 2 p.m., both Gannon and Letitia returned home, but something was off. Not only did Letitia purchase cleaning supplies moments after their return, but backed all the way into her driveway. According to family and friends, Letitia never backed up all the way into the driveway, but
I ain't gonna lie. A lot of women really don't back up. So it's like something's off.
for now, only one credible conclusion can be made. The only person last in contact with Gannon was his own stepmother. And oddly enough, she would report him to be missing 5 hours later at 7 p.m.
My son was going to be home at 6 o'clock, and it's almost 7. And we went to, like, all his friends' house. He said he was going to be at his friend's house, and they said he wasn't there, and the other one said he never came there. So I don't know any other people to call and ask, and I talked to my husband, so I told him I had to call you guys as fast as I could because I don't know anyone else here that he could be. He's only 11.
With this call, officers rushed to Letitia's home in an attempt to gather as much information as possible, because every single second, Gannon's trail gets colder.
Did he take his
That's crazy.
bike?
No.
Okay, because somebody saw a little kid on a bike. They posted it, but I didn't know if he brought it.
Well, he didn't unless he took it sooner and brought it back because Lena ends up getting the bike.
What color's the bike?
Dinner.
Blue
And he
and
never
black.
came home. They thought he was at his
Black?
friend's house. He's like,
Yeah. There's
Yeah, he never
one
went to his
picture
friend's
someone
house.
sent he was on
Okay.
and he was taking the switch.
For someone who just realized their son is missing, Letitia is strangely calm. Not only that, she states with her initial alibi that Gannon was visiting her friend, which is clearly a lie as Gannon never left the home after his return. Undoubtedly, something is very wrong here. But for these officers, Letitia is nothing more than a concerned mother as they continue to search her home.
Okay, because you weren't in here in the beginning, right? I didn't know if I had that box cutter and all that stuff in there because I told him about he dropped a candle last night
oh, okay.
and I thought I must have picked it up. I was just making sure I didn't want you to be like, oh, just a box cutter. But yeah, I had to cut this and I told them I wasn't even going to tell Dad and I was going to
She doing all this damn talking.
from the situation, but
At least you got a cart. Yeah, you got
right, I just took it and like covered up with the carpet and stuff like that, but
Does he have any friends around here?
there is let me look on this thing. He did have this one like book thing.
It's where you're supposed to be at down the road. But they checked that already?
They went over there and talked to her, and they're like, no, we hadn't seen him at all.
Oh, okay.
He did have this like
And you talked to parents, right? You didn't talk to...
Yeah, Connor's mom came over, who is a friend he hangs out with all the time. So they come over. The people here, the friends, they were just the ones that were at the door with the bike.
Okay.
They came over. A bunch of people came over.
Keep in mind that officers have not yet completed their house search. They have only gone through the home superficially. Yet, oddly, Letitia is trying her best to keep them restrained to
Keep calm.
two
That's what
sections
she...
of the house. The living room, where there is a burnt piece of carpet, and Gannon's room. This strange behavior would only worsen as Letitia is committed to keeping the officers where they are.
He forgets to like bring this or bring that or bring this or bring that, you know.
Still kid.
Yeah.
So no clothes are missing or nothing?
No, we actually lay out all the clothes all the time. Like for, you know, like every day at school, we lay out clothes, we do whatever.
Is his jacket gone?
He had on he has several jackets. Like it depends on, I'm very like fashion. So like it just depends on jackets. Like he might have this black one with this, or there's a blue one with this.
So he had a jacket?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Several jackets. Like, I mean, you see the kid has, you know, like tons and tons of clothes, and he just, you know, he has all that stuff. So
there was a weird text that Dad got about something about bath salts, and hey, if I can get some bath salts, do we have any bath salts? And my friend won't let me play Sonic or something at their house.
He sent that to his dad.
Yeah, I got it. And then Mom goes through everything, finds this part.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking.
Was she just checking that man's phone?
44, a complete AI.
Shawty is acting real weird. Look at her closing the door.
This is the exact moment that officers realized that Letitia was hiding something from them. It's strange that she randomly closes the door here as if there was something in the basement that she didn't want the cops to see. And her behavior, words, and strategies to deflect the cops from certain areas of the house did not go unnoticed. Consequently, her devices were subjected to a forensic analysis where officers would come across a disturbing video recorded on Sunday, January 26th, a day before Gannon supposedly went missing.
Gannon, I promise this is the last time I'm going to ask you. I'm just freaked out, okay? Are you sure you didn't do it on purpose?
He did it.
Okay, you promise. You promise.
On purpose.
Pinky promise.
Pinky.
Okay, alright, so listen, we're gonna have to sell stuff to fix it. So we figure out what we gotta sell. We can sell the sofa, because we gotta get it fixed, so lady, don't be mad at us and kick us out of the house. Okay?
This video was recorded by Letitia when Gannon supposedly dropped a candle on the carpet, leaving a burn mark. What the video doesn't show is that Gannon sustained burn injuries on his arms from the candle, and rather than treating his burns, Letitia is hurt scolding him instead. Additionally, during the phone analysis, officers discovered a phone call that Letitia had made to her husband, Albert Stouch, informing him of the situation.
He told me it was just his arms. So I didn't see anything that would have thrown a flag that I had to be like, oh my God, emergency or anything like that.
But if his arms was bubbling, that's not an emergency?
Well, it hadn't broke skin, like it was just underneath. In my mind, I'm like, let's evaluate the situation tomorrow and see or whatever. It wasn't burn mark, it was bubbly. I didn't see it as a bad thing. I just knew he was like, it's not hurting. We put aloe on it, and I assumed, okay.
As heartbreaking as this call is, the burns described are likely second degree because of both the freezing feeling that
killed his man's son
and the presence of blisters. Things aren't adding up, and the story so far paints a really bad light on Letitia. However, officers need to verify what really happened, as it was after this incident that Gannon disappeared. That's why on January 30th, 3 days after Gannon's disappearance, Letitia was called in for an interview so detectives could understand the circumstances surrounding the situation.
Oh shit.
Gannon had started a candle. Again, normal day. He's very like responsible in terms of like if you give him something and say do this, and this, like a list to prepare, he's fine. So we let him, do things like that. So I didn't see a problem with him, light a candle, whatever. And Lena asked me could she stay up and still watch the rest of her iPad or whatever. It was just her birthday, and I was trying to give her a little bit extra because we went all out for Gannon's birthday. Like, we took him to a Rockies game. We took friends with him.
It is already strange that Letitia is going on several tangents and prefacing this entire conversation with the loving relationship she had with her children, especially with her daughter, Harley Hunt, whom she would refer to as Lena, almost as if she wants to say that whatever happened with the candle was not intentional.
So it starts beeping. It's like a beep, 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 beep. And I thought that someone was coming in the house. I didn't see anything going on. Then it started saying fire, 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 fire. So there was smoke coming up through the basement. So then I ran back downstairs to get Gannon. And then the fire was on the floor over here, then on the sofa. So I'm pretending this is the sofa and this is our floor. So it was right here and right here. And I saw the candle that was over here. So there was covers everywhere because the kids always get on them about, they leave a lot of covers laying around all the time. I take a whole bunch of them and I go and like basically smash down on the sofa and the fire to put it out. So I got a burn and then I was like, get up again and started running at that point because it wakes him up. He's alert. He's realizing that the covers and everything's on fire, the carpet's on fire, and we all go outside.
Essentially, what occurred was a freak accident from Gannon, due to him accidentally knocking over a candle, a small fire had somehow ignited on the carpet in the basement. This was the same cut-up section of the carpet that Letitia had previously shown officers, but this was odd. Second-degree burns by just a knocked-over candle, especially on both arms, is unlikely, if not impossible. Gannon would have also had enough common sense to run away from flames. After all, it was a slow-moving fire caused by a candle. If this wasn't strange enough, Letitia begins to recount the injuries Gannon suffered, but this time, they would be different from what she told Albert.
I was scared because my thought process was Albert is going to kill me. Like, because I made a mistake as a parent and forgot to like really check him down. And he really got a little bit more burnt than he should have. So I was freaking out because it's like, he's going to kill me. And Gannon was like, it's okay. And like, there was blood. And like, he had on his arms. And as it was peeling, and I should have called.
What did he have blood at?
I should have called the hospital and just asked, you know, I don't know enough about burns, but I should have called the hospital and just asked, like, I made a mistake.
To quote, Letitia just said more than he should have, and secondly, implied that Gannon was somehow bleeding because of burns, an apparent contradiction to.
I would say it's like having another
Shorty asked her too.
Exactly what your song needs. This is co-producer. The fastest way to find
what
she asked her, where did he bleed at? And she just kept talking like she didn't hear the question.
Told Albert. More importantly, this was a massive slip-up by Letitia, and detectives suspect that this fire wasn't a simple mistake. However, there is no way to confirm this situation as of now, but there is one conclusion that officers can make. Letitia is lying. When a suspect is guilty, they often make major changes to alibis as opposed to someone who is innocent and has little variation in their story. In Letitia's case, she changes major details about the candle incident, especially her response, which was recorded on her phone, which sets off a series of red flags for the detectives as they now believe that she might go as far as changing her original alibi about Gannon's disappearance too, and begin to question her about it. If this assumption turns out to be true, there is a high likelihood that Letitia is withholding even more crucial information.
He goes in through the garage, I go in, I'm getting ready to put up the things, stuff like that. As we got inside, I heard something, but I didn't think anything about it because I thought, you know, maybe Gannon was like doing something, maybe we were like doing whatever. And the guy was in there, and I gave him the code.
The guy from the...
Yeah, it's all my fault because I gave him our code to fix the carpet.
Okay.
And I shouldn't have. And then when I walked downstairs, I hear something again. Well, at that point in time, Gannon was on the sofa, and I saw him, and I heard something again, and I walked on around, and he was standing in there. He had on gloves.
In the storage closet?
Yes.
Okay.
He had one of the guns.
Okay.
And I was terrified.
Okay.
So terrified. And then he just knocked me down and like towards Gannon's room, and he was hitting on me. It was like hard, like on the ground. And he was trying to like
Exactly as predicted, Letitia's alibi has changed from Gannon visiting a friend's house to having an intruder break into her home. But this would only be the start of her outrageous lies as, according to her, confrontation with this stranger escalates.
And I'm like pleading and like talking and like all these things going on. Like just back and forth with him. And why are you doing this? Why did you hurt us? Why are you doing these things? And then he was like on top of me again. And then I kind of lied out again because he hit my head again. Oh, really? And then, and then he was like, he asked me to give him a suitcase. And I gave him a brown suitcase. And then he hit me on the head again. And I like right here. He just kept like hitting me right there like that. Okay. And so then he did that. And then I wiped out again. I was having a panic attack. And then I don't know what happened from there. I really don't. I don't know. I just know that I did lie. I did. When they came, I did say, get and left, whatever, but you know that. But, but he never did. He never left to go play. Or I just didn't know what to do, and I panicked in the moment. And I didn't want Albert to be like trying to hurt us, because we kind of get a lot of.
You're fried, deep fried, you're deep fried Oreo, you're deep fried chicken, you're fried, shorty.
And I just want you to know that's the only reason that I made up the lie.
A simple way to check whether she has been assaulted is using a sexual assault nurse examiner at a local hospital. These are registered nurses who receive special training to collect forensic evidence from assault survivors. Conveniently, Letitia rejected this examination when officers offered it to her. Not only that, but even CCTV footage confirms the fact that no one entered or left the Stout residence after Letitia and Gannon came home. She likely thought that this poorly planned story would absolve her of any crimes. Fortunately, quite the opposite happened. Noticing these contradictions, police officers handed this case over to the FBI, who gathered CCTV footage from neighbors and came to a harrowing realization. The morning after Gannon's disappearance, Letitia rented a Kia Rio for 24 hours and left the house at approximately 8:30 a.m. on the 28th of January. When the car was returned the following day at 8 a.m. on the 29th of January, it had clocked in 955 miles in the span of one day. This could mean only one thing. Letitia had likely murdered Gannon after their return at 2 p.m. and on the morning of January 28th, left to dump his body. While this much is easy to figure out, the exact details surrounding the murder are still not known. This is why 1 month after Gannon's disappearance, on March 2nd, federal investigators called Letitia in for yet another interview to piece together this confusing puzzle of Gannon's disappearance and possibly his murder.
Because of the nature of the warrant, it being a murder warrant, we need to know the real story because you put out quite a few different stories.
Put out to who?
We heard a lot of the stories to Al.
To Albert?
Mm-hmm.
Picked a great name, but your voice doesn't quite match.
Albert?
VoiceMod gives you over 150 lag-free.
The reason I already knew someone was listening to him, but because of him not ever being supportive, and I tried originally to talk to him when he first got there, that was the only reason I said those things to him, was just because I was out of anger and out of hurt and not being able to have support. It was nothing to do with me saying those things to him was just being what is the word you want to call it? Selfish or facetious or whatever you want to call it. I did have originally initial different thoughts on certain things, and that was me trying to basically read him and try to figure the situations out. So I understand that you may have heard those or whatever you may have heard, and that's okay because that totally was not.
What Letitia is referring to hearing are rumors about the friction between her and Albert. Since he was a National Guard, Albert was rarely home and Letitia felt he gave little attention to her. This had resulted in instability in their relationship, which Letitia initially denies as being small apprehensions she felt about him. However, when the officer confronts her about odd searches on her phone, she goes into a state of absolute panic.
As you know, in here I even have what you entered in your phone. The stuff that you've entered and deleted, blood is spurting from an arterial bleed, direct pressure not controlling.
What? I didn't look this up.
It's from your phone.
Blood is what?
spurting from an arterial bleed?
No.
Well, somebody did from your phone. I don't like my stepson.
Oh my
I
God.
don't like my stepson. Should I get a divorce?
Oh my God.
I'll stalk cheating. I'll stalk Instagram. I'll stalk cheating in Colorado Springs. How to get blood out of sheets.
Oh my God.
Mhm. I want immunity.
Oh, the blood out of sheets was because we always had always nosebleeds. If I ever looked up blood out of sheets, it was nosebleeds.
And I figured it might be something.
I didn't ever look up anything about an artery or something unless it went from something else.
It's on your phone.
And I never looked up anything about my stepson unless someone else did.
The searches that the investigator just
Look, it's your
would
phone.
only be a few of the 34 searches that Letitia made between the 25th and the 28th of January, which is the exact time frame that Gannon went missing. Conveniently, she would have an excuse for every single one of them.
Hold on, I want to see what she searched up.
January.
Colorado law for what? Starting at home. School is out. Is it okay for my kids to stay home alone? Son is sick, but I have to go to work. Son sick. Can he stay home? Suede repair for the sofa. El Paso Sheriff Office number. What is the process for a runaway child? Police steps for our runaway. Police steps for our missing child. Today's flight. Smoke from fire effects with humidifier help. Smoke effect with humidifier help. What are you supposed to smoke? Shorty is
Which is the exact time frame that
Bride,
Gannon
bro.
went missing. Conveniently, she would have an excuse for every single one of them.
The reason I brought up gangs is you looked up, I want immunity because it was gang related. And this sounds like me. Find me a new husband, find me a rich guy who wants to take care of his kids.
The new husband is just because Albert already knew that was about the lady Debbie Sherrill who wanted to find a new husband after 35.
Albert already knew.
And like a lot of these can have nothing to do with this.
It doesn't.
I get it. I'm doing all the work for my stepkids and their mom doesn't help.
Oh, that bothered me. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame.
Oh yes, because I wanted them to be mine. Like,
one day, some people will wish they treated you differently, which I get that. Parenting should be for people, not one. What a societal person might say. I mean, these make me very sad when I read them because I can see you're doing all the work at home by yourself.
which I wanted to be there. Like, I wanted to totally have the kids as my children. That's the point you're not getting. Like, I wanted those kids to be saying to me that I'm their mom.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the person who cares for them, loves them, everything.
If these were not incriminating enough, investigators also found 12 deleted search terms in Letitia's iPhone, all of which pertaining to her wanting to find a new husband and being sick of being with Albert.
What about what do you do if you suspect a person swallowed poison? Did somebody actually swallow poison?
Poison? I don't know. I always click things and read.
You always click things and read them.
Teammate, I need your support.
Okay.
No one
Did somebody swallow it?
No one swallowed any poison.
Okay. You will never forgive me and treat me like a princess. You'll never know when it's too late.
Oh yeah, I mean, I always search for things when Albert was gone.
What is an Alford plea? Did you figure out what an Alford plea was?
Alford plea?
Yeah.
I think somebody asked me that and I probably searched it.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah.
Do you remember? What did you remember?
I don't remember. I just remember something. Because someone was writing that online. So if anyone wrote something online, I looked it up. Just like the other day, someone wrote something about FBI coming or something, and if I see something online, I always Google.
Usually when a suspect undergoes a criminal trial and is found guilty of a crime, they are given a maximum sentence. However, there is a legal loophole to avoid this. If a suspect pleads guilty yet remains adamant that they are innocent, then they are not given a maximum punishment. Instead, they are given a known punishment for a crime. This is known as the Alford plea. But as always, Letitia has a convenient story for a search as incriminating as this and continues deflecting any and all evidence. Because of this cathartic behavior, the detective decides to reroute the conversation elsewhere. A preliminary investigation of the house found blood splotches covering the rear of the truck, Gannon's living space, and even the cut-up carpet.
I've seen the markers from the spray. The spray went from the bed all the way up here. Well, you had to clean it up.
I don't know anything about that.
It comes from aspirated blood.
Okay.
Do you know what that means?
No.
It means that he didn't accidentally do it.
Okay. Whatever.
So that's what we were waiting on for the warrants, because somebody struck Gannon in the bed.
If someone struck Gannon in the bed, thank God we were all drugged then. If that's what you're saying happened.
Well, then can you tell me how that blood got on the wall?
Sir.
That's Gannon's blood on the wall.
Okay, well, I guess, sir, if you think you have all the answers, then...
You're making me guess.
I'm not.
You've got the answers.
I'm not making you guess, sir.
It doesn't work like it does on TV. Have you ever watched Criminal Minds or Profilers?
I don't watch any of that stuff, because I don't do bad things to people.
You know, good people watch those shows.
I don't do any of that. I don't do bad things to people.
Right now, you're the last person with Gannon.
I don't do bad things to people. I don't.
I don't think you do bad things to people.
I don't do bad things to anyone, and I didn't do anything bad to Gannon.
I think something bad happened to Gannon, and I don't know of a way to get you to tell me about it.
When Gannon returned home on the 27th of January, a doorbell camera had captured audio of neighborhood dogs being sent into a frenzy by what appeared to be Gannon screaming. By 5 p.m., 3 hours
I
after
did hear
these
a scream.
screams, Letitia had ordered her daughter, Harley Hunt, to buy cleaning supplies from a nearby Dollar Tree at 5 p.m. These included baking soda, vinegar, trash bags, and carpet powder from a nearby Dollar Tree. The baking soda and carpet powder to absorb the odor of blood and clean minor stains on the carpet. The vinegar was bought to remove deeper stains on walls and act as a disinfectant, and the trash bags to hide Gannon's body. A body that officers had missed by mere inches and had been hidden away in some part of the basement or garage. And every single location that Letitia showed officers, the garage, the carpet, and Gannon's room, were all locations that Gannon had bled in. Not only that, her searches about human anatomy from before indicate that she stabbed Gannon in the artery, which resulted in arterial spray, after which Letitia desperately tried to clean up the evidence of her crimes. This is also the reason she had backed up all the way into her driveway, as the rear end of her vehicle was filled with blood, indicating that abuse had taken place prior to them returning home. Knowing that the investigator is catching on to this story, her initial attempts of feigning innocence now turn into desperate attempts to deflect everything that she is told.
Why would I hurt our child? I had everything in the world. Why? I have no motive. None. Don't have
Say you hate your stepson in the search.
I wanted in my life. I had it. Why? Doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense a lot of the time what happens inside of a house.
And sir, I don't even know what you're talking about. All I can tell you is I did not hurt him.
Notice that she uses the word motive, which is often terminology that is used by law enforcement to search a criminal, corroborating the facts that she had done her due diligence about the law in case she got caught, just like her searches about the Milford plea. Regardless, the investigator knows that there is a limit to how much she can refuse cold hard facts, and begins to pressure her even further by promising her that he is more concerned about Gannon's safety rather than her crimes.
I do want to help, and whether you did this or not, it doesn't matter to me. With all the evidence that they have, the reason why it took so long is the district attorney wanted to wait and wait and wait till they made sure they could win in the courtroom. And I've done no body homicides before. They have more on this case than we do on most of them.
Okay, sir. But if you have what you need, why do you keep asking me?
Because our goal is to find Gannon. Our goal is not to prosecute you. That is the district attorney's job. We're investigators. And like you've just seen, I do a poor job about half the time because I have to guess. Because as much as we try to track you with your cars and your phones and whatever else, there are gaps. We do have, like I told you, the blood in the house. We do have
take what you do best
Eesh, they
and
need to
create a
get to
website
it.
that's worthy of it.
Do you know about the board that was thrown in the forest? Letitia?
What? I'm sorry, sir. What?
The board that has Gannon's blood on it that was thrown in the forest.
Okay. So alright, so what?
You got your DNA on it.
Presented with such overwhelming evidence, a suspect would usually crack under the pressure and allow
I
themselves
know
to be
her ass
arrested.
is
In
done.
Letitia's case, however, not only does she keep refuting everything the detective has to say, but even goes as far as accidentally giving him even
I know
more
about the
incriminating
blood.
information.
The blood that you or your team allowed people to be in the house.
That has no bearing on this.
Okay, well, if it doesn't, then okay.
It doesn't.
Okay, so
Are you ready to tell me your last time you saw Gannon?
maybe check one of them. Because
I bet you they can tell me the last time they saw Gannon, even though it was months before.
your answer.
I bet Al can tell you the last time he saw Gannon, even though he didn't know that was going to be the last time. I guarantee you he's got an image of Gannon. You were the last one with him, Letitia.
Okay.
Now, Letitia has just agreed that she was the last person who saw Gannon. Not only this, but throughout this interview, she has also admitted to Gannon's injuries, blood locations, and motives. With all of this information that Letitia herself provided, this was less of an interrogation and more of a confession of murder. Letitia was a broken individual. She cast aside her husband and 2 children because of 2 major reasons. 1, Albert's job in the National Guard made her resent him and wish she was married to someone better. 2, her extreme inferiority complex towards Gannon's biological mother, Landon Bullard. It was later found that during the candle incident, Gannon had wished for his mom to be present, which sent Letitia into a psychotic break, and she attempted to mask a murder in the form of an accidental fire. This failed attempt only added fuel to the fire, so the very next day she called in a vacation from work and spent the day brutally murdering Gannon and erasing any traces of her crimes. With these findings, there was no escape for Letitia, and 8 days after this interview, she was officially arrested for her crimes. And while being transported to a county jail, out of pure frustration and insanity, she turns to the only other option she has, becoming a fugitive.
She keeps threatening me. Stop. Well, she keeps threatening. Stop. Stop it. Well, she keeps on threatening me. I have stopped it. She keeps on. Well, she got out of the restraints. She keeps on. Threaten me. I will for you. She keeps threatening.
Put your arm down.
Put your arm down. Well, she keeps threatening me the whole time. Tisha? I will with you. I said I would with you. Give me your arm now. Well, I said I would with you. I said I would with you. I said I would with you. I'm just asking to breathe. That's
Yo,
it.
look how she holding her bitch like a fish.
You're hurting my arm.
My phone is jacking.
Or a dog you don't want to get bit by.
You're hurting my arm. I just want my arm. It's hurting my arm. Just let my arm out.
It is ironic that Letitia complains about not being able to breathe, about how her arm hurts and how she's uncomfortable. Yet, when she did even worse to poor Gannon, she was filled with nothing but ecstasy.
Joy.
And couldn't help but laugh in the face of the officers. Even more tragically, the circumstances that Gannon's body was found in would prove that his death was not instant. It was slow and painful. On March 17, 2020, 49 days after his murder, a maintenance worker found a suitcase under Escambia Bay Bridge in Pace, Florida, 1,300 miles away from the Stouch home, and inside was Gannon's body. Autopsies done on the body showed high levels of acetaminophen and hydrocodone. While these are generally pain medications, hydrocodone was never prescribed to Gannon. It was prescribed to his father, Albert Stouch, who kept the prescription hidden in his nightstand, the location of which
Dudes
only
went straight there
Letitia
and
was
grabbed it.
aware of. This means he was forcibly drugged to reduce the pain of his injuries, possibly in an attempt to fuel Letitia's sick fantasies. However, this was not the end of it. A gunshot wound in his jaw meant that after Letitia had her fun, she ended his life almost immediately.
Damn, in the jaw
For
though.
nearly 2 months, Letitia was well aware of all these crimes. When she was finally put to trial, phone calls would be shown in court with Letitia begging Albert to stop cooperating with investigators so she could get immunity.
I need to know something about my son. I need to know something about Gannon. Do you know if he's safe? Do you know, is he safe? Where is he at? Do you have anything?
And if I kill Gannon, really?
What about this? I'm trying to think of any way to cue the police to offer you immunity if they can, okay?
Because they'll try to incriminate me for this. I need immunity.
I think they give it to you because this is big that he was there and they missed it. Because then they're gonna want to cover their shit for not finding him.
Regardless of these desperate attempts, Albert continued to cooperate with authorities to convict Letitia of her crimes. 3 years later, on May 8th, 2023, Letitia's trial concluded, a life sentence in prison without parole plus 156.
This bitch got charged with first-degree murder, child abuse resulting in death, tampering with the body, tampering with evidence, life in prison plus 156 years. When she dies, she still will have 100 some years left, plus the life in prison. Oh my god, yo, this shit wake you for the dub. I'm gone. Bow.